Childhood education is probably the most important thing that we're facing today.
Squeak, squeak, squeak.
Squeak is a way of doing something.
I'm a squeaker.
That thing that you're trying to do with it is fundamentally important.
僕もスクイーカーです。
Squeak, squeak, squeak.
Squeak is our latest attempt to invent personal computing.
Squeak, squeak.
Squeak, squeak, squeak.
Squeak makes simple ideas simple and allows for complex ideas to be possible.
Ich bin ein Squeaker.
It's meant to disturb people.
Squeak, squeak.
You have to disturb them. You have to get them out of their habitual modes of thought.
Squeak.
I think that's wonderful.
Squeak, squeak.
Squeak.
You better check me out, because I'm a squeaker.
Squeak is a language, a tool, and environment primarily designed to help children and change the way learning's done. Designed by the father of the personal computer, Alan Kay, and his colleagues, Squeak allows teachers, parents, and students, together or alone, to explore powerful ideas in math and science.
This change in speed is sometimes called the acceleration.
Yeah.
And it's designed to be fun. Kids and the way they learn are at the heart and soul of Squeak. Kay has spent more than 30 years studying computers and education, a subject still in its infancy, he believes.
Squeak is the latest in a long line of designs for making an environment for children that they can learn powerful ideas by making things that they think are fun.
Based on a constructivist theory of learning in which children learn by creating, Dr. Kay's work builds on the shoulders of leading educators.
Maria Montessori was one of the greatest geniuses in education. One of her great insights was that children are already set up by nature to learn through play. Joan Brunner was one of the biggest influences on me and continues to be. He wrote the best book on educating children that's ever been written, Towards a Theory of Instruction. Seymour Papert was one of the inventors of Logo. Seymour had one of the big insights about how to use computers with children, which is that certain powerful kinds of mathematics, when you bring them to the computer in the right way, turn into toys that children can play with and learn advanced mathematics without the normal pain that children seem to go through. So this is one of the most profound insights, and it's colored pretty much everything we've done over the last 30 years.
Many classroom computers today are still used only for presentation, animated worksheets, or for the internet. But Kay, Papert, and others say much more is possible.
So, BJ, your kids know how to do second-order differential equations.
Okay, wow.
But will Squeak work with real teachers in real classrooms?
Our biggest attempt with Squeak is to involve the kids in these interesting processes to teach them math and science, but to change their common sense way of looking at situations in the world.
I teach math, I teach science concepts, and then I have the kids simulate what is reality by using math to make it happen. And I could never have done that before without this program.
To get a feel for what Squeak is, here's a look at a beginning Squeak Drive a Car project with 6th grade teacher Cathy Galas.
Today we were just looking at sort of a beginning project, a car project with Squeak. Learning to drive the car has a lot of math is just embedded in that experience.
Squeak has many media tools available. Children quickly create a car using the paint tool. And since everything in Squeak is an object, they can immediately move or resize their car.
So today we just began looking at a car and we started making it move forward, and then as it moved forward we said, well what does forward mean?
To make their objects do things, children can select from a list of simple actions such as forward and turn.
So now we know that forward also tells us what then?
The car, like the
speed. So forward is really the speed of the car.
And just by adding a number to the script, they can change the speed or the direction.
Okay, now what's the relationship? If it's forward by 5 and turn by 5, what's going to happen if we play that script before you even start the script? What'll happen to it?
It's going to go in a circle.
In a circle, why? What does that mean? Forward by 5, turn by 5. How do you know it's going to go in a circle?
Because it's going forward by, but at the same time it's turning.
Ah, okay. Now what if we... And then we began looking at, okay, well, if we want to make the car do something else, we want to drive it, we want to make a steering wheel, how will the steering wheel control the car?
A steering wheel is created in paint, and a dot at the top helps indicate the heading.
So we started looking at something called heading, and in heading, there were numbers.
Heading introduces the concept of positive and negative numbers. Turn the car right, positive numbers. Turn left, negative numbers. By connecting the wheel's heading to the car's turning, the kids can actually drive the car.
So we talked a little bit about degrees and angles and circles and actually began making a correlation between numbers that they had maybe looked at on a worksheet in the classroom and been able to now sort of manipulate and see that it actually has a real-life application.
Later, dot trails are introduced, which allow the children to see and measure the car's speed, leading to the concept of acceleration. Speed, acceleration, heading, degrees, some of these concepts are advanced for this age child, but what's fundamentally different is the actual way of working in Squeak.
There's an incredible amount of thinking, problem solving, figuring out, planning. These are all very high-level skills that may not take place in other environments where kids are not allowed to build. When kids are just completing a page of problems, they may not really be thinking about how it works. But when they make these connections in Squeak, then those other things are just automatic.